My name is Abby Maxwell, and I live on Belmont Mountain Road. I am the proud mother of a transgender child. In the past few weeks, people have spoken out in this room and in our town with ignorance and fear against transgender people in general and my family in particular. At first, I thought I would lock my doors and pull my curtains closed and hide. But the fact is that my daughter does not have that option. Instead, she walks through the world as the most courageous human I have ever met. So today, I am trying to be brave for her and all the other transgender and gender nonconforming students in our district. I am here to encourage the school board not only to adopt this policy that is necessary to protect some of our most marginalized students, but also to ask the school board, the administration, and our town to stand boldly and proudly in support of it. I did not always know about the lives of transgender people. I began researching when it became necessary in my life to do so. The research shows that enacting this policy does no student harm, and in fact saves many students from harm. That is why the American Academy of Pediatrics, the American Academy of Child and Adolescent Psychiatry, and every other major medical organization supports transgender rights. There's still so much that I don't know or understand, but I would like to pass on to you some of what I have learned. 1, transgender children and youth are not an opinion or value. They are a fact, and their existence is not up for debate. 2, gender is separate from sexuality. When you stand up here and say that children should not be exposed to this, you are speaking in ignorance. All your children know their gender. Gender is a part of who you know yourself to be. Sexuality has to do with who you are attracted to. 3, transgender children and youth are among the most marginalized, most at-risk populations in our district and the world. In our country, the most recent comprehensive data we have on the population shows that more than half of transgender youth have seriously considered suicide in the past year alone, and almost half have attempted it. However, when an LGBTQ person has the support of just one adult, that rate drops by 40%. And the shift is even more remarkable when they also have the support of their community. If you aren't sure what that means, let me make it clear. There is nothing wrong with them. The problem is society. Saving these students is literally in our hands, and the method is so incredibly simple. Accept them, believe them, use their names and pronouns. 4, everyone in this room is concerned about protecting their children. 70% of transgender children and youth report facing harassment in school. If we want to talk about protecting our children, this population needs to be one of the first we look at. 5, there has been a lot of fear expressed around bathroom use. I too am afraid of boys harassing girls. However, that issue has nothing to do with transgender people. There has never, ever been a single recorded instance of a transgender person causing a problem in a bathroom, and nor has there been a recorded instance of a predator pretending to be transgender in order to access a bathroom. What there has been, however, are many recorded instances of transgender people needing to access medical care because they cannot find a safe place to use the bathroom and hold it too long. My family has some personal experience with this. When my daughter was asked to use the boys' bathroom, she had a toileting accident. When she was asked to use the nurse's room, She held it all day, for she, like us, knows that separate is never equal. Now, because she is afraid of not being accepted, she does not go to the bathroom when she needs to, but tells me she waits until the room is clear.
30 seconds.
If someone comes in while she is there, she hides in the stall until the room is empty. She is 7 years old, and she has asked us if we can move to a place that understands transgender people so that she can finally use the bathroom comfortably. I know that we might not all agree on people's identities, but I do trust that we can agree that all children deserve an equal education, and that if a child cannot safely access the bathroom, she cannot show up fully to learn. I also know that no matter how far apart our beliefs are, I would stand up for your children. If they were being bullied, harassed, marginalized, or denied rights because of their identities, I would stand up for them. The transgender population in our district needs the support of this policy and the vocal, visible support of their educators. I know that it might feel scary to stand strongly in the face of fear and ignorance. However, if we cave in any way to the group of adults who are actively bullying some of our most marginalized students, we have to stop and wonder what message that sends to these children. If we are afraid to stand strongly with them, how must they feel? Imagine if you were one of these children. What must it feel like to know that because adults are so afraid to put their job or reputation on the line, that they instead put your safety on the line? Make no mistake, that is exactly what happens when the identities of these children is kept in the shadows. Instead, I encourage you to pass the policy and then to stand visibly and fearlessly behind it. Thank you.
My name is Steve Earle. I live at 320 Old Lake Shore Road here in Gilford.
Mr. Earle, is that with or without an E on the end, sir?
E on the end.
Thank you very much.
I've jotted down a few notes. I'd like to compliment this last lady for her courage and passion. I do disagree because I don't believe this open bathroom business is going to do anything whatsoever to help the marginalized students. I've written some notes here. I'm going to be 77 years old in a few days. I'm a graduate of Massachusetts School of Nursing, and I have, in my professional life and my private life, I have never read of, heard of, or experienced any person who has spontaneously changed their gender. They have every right to think that they are a man or a woman or a female or a male. But there are two genders, male and female. It's always been that way with the higher animals. Before humans evolved, it was that way. Before dinosaurs evolved, it was that way. And it's not going to change. There may be examples down in the creepy crawler section of the species, different species, but not in humans. Be clear, this is not a medical or a scientific issue, it's a political issue. This is a thing that it's a science issue, nor is it a civil rights issue. Unless we consider the violation of the rights of the majority of the rest of the students, we can't do this. There is a, I'm getting flustered here, I'm very sorry, I'm not a good public speaker. Anyway, this is a political issue, and it's based on politics, not on fact, not on science. We have to respect the rights of all the students, and it isn't going to change anything by having open bathrooms for transgenders. That doesn't work. I'm sure it will not work. It might even make things worse. This board is charged with the proper education of our youth. Denying science and reality is not educating. Accepting or encouraging delusions or whatever it happens to be is not an education. It's a diametric opposite of education. This board needs to do what's right. I hope you will. Thank you.
Croc TV.